It's time for another sea story with Mr. Durite. Take it away, Mr. Durite. I think they're ready for it.
Welcome back to Sea Stories with Mr. Durite. I am your host, Mr. Durite, and today's show, Navigator Tales. Ooh, not DuckTales. You see that little plane? I used to like that show though. That was a cool show. I like that. Anyway, I don't want to tell my age around here. On this show, I'm going to tell some stories about my previous navigators. I had 4 navigators that I was privy to work with. I wanted to share some tidbits on some little snippets, or some little short stories, or some little stuff, or midget tales, or what, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to share some stuff with you, and I don't know, tell some stories. You like my stories? Well, here you go. Navigator number 1. You like that, huh? Navigator number 1 was my first navigator. So when I reported on board, he was my first navigator. And me and navigator number 1 didn't necessarily see eye to eye. Maybe because we came from different walks of life or something. I'm not sure. But what really stood out to me was our first meeting, if that's what you want to call it. You know, you have to sit down, you know, you check in, you got to meet certain people on the boat and get a signature from them, whatever. And it's like, welcome aboard. I'm going to kick your ass every chance I get. So cheer up and keep a smile on your face. And don't mind this ass kicking. It's not personal. You know, that's what they basically tell you. We sat down and we were in the wardroom. I remember this like it was yesterday. Well, no, I don't, because I don't remember the whole conversation. I only remember this one little part. And it was tripped out because, I don't know, maybe my outlook is totally different. But he made the statement, we don't cut corners around here. And you know what? Now I'm older and I understand what that meant. But where I was from, cutting corners meant something totally different. Now I know what he meant. You know, he said, we don't cut corners. And, you know, we don't sit up here and if we're supposed to do step A, B, and C, we don't just go from A to C. You know, you have to do that step B. I understand that now. However, back then, that's not how we took that phrase. You know, cutting corners meant when we got to walk from way over here to way over here, and we had to go all the way around. Funk that. We cutting the corner to get there. You know what I'm saying? My way is still relevant because, unfortunately, this is how it works for me. My hometown is Beaumont. I had to go through Houston to get to Austin. You know, I hate that. That drives me nuts because that's a lot of out of my way stuff in Houston. I hate Houston because it's always traffic. And God dog it, they are always working on the freeway. How is it that your freeways are always in a perpetual state of repair? Golly! So that makes for traffic 24 hours a day. It just pisses me the hell off. Like, God, I wish God would reach down, and just pick up Houston and put it over somewhere else. Texas is pretty big enough. Put it somewhere else so I ain't got to go through Houston no more. Boy, I just struck a nerve. Houston is my missile spin up button. God, I ain't going through Houston. Just to go through Houston, I have a 4-hour trip between Austin and Beaumont, and an hour of that trip is driving through Houston. And that's nonstop, no traffic, just the same speed all the way through. 1 freaking hour. So any traffic jam automatically adds, at a minimum, an extra hour. You know, so, okay. We're supposed to be talking about sea stories. Why am I talking about Houston? I'd rather go from Beaumont straight to Austin rather than going through Houston. So if I can cut that corner, I'm all for that. That's the only cutting corners that we ever did. Anything else is like, how can you even cut a corner? If you got to saw a piece of wood, how do you cut a corner from sawing a piece of wood? What, you don't use a saw? And it just didn't resonate to me. So we start arguing these points back and forth. He was trying to explain to me. I was trying to explain to him. He didn't get what I was saying. I didn't get what he was saying. And we got off on the wrong foot from Jump Street. So let's just say that my career did not accelerate because of this meeting of the mind. Navigator number 2, he was cool as ice water. Cool as the other side of the pillow. He was a cool mamma jamma. He will whoop your ass in Halo if you let him. God dog, that dude was good at Halo. We had a lot of times where, we had an Xbox in Crew's Mess. They had an Xbox in the war room, and they had an Xbox in the chief's quarters. And it'll be a, chief versus officers versus, well, chiefs are enlisted too, but it'll be chief's quarters, war room, Crew's Mess battles. There, that's it. And it would be some drag out battles in there. And, boy, and it's rough because there's not that many chiefs on the submarine. It's not that many officers. And the majority of the people are in Crew's Mess with us. So you can even really learn their style of playing real good because you play a little bit and then you have to give up the stick. Like you remember when you was kids and you had to give up the stick. And as soon as you start getting hot and you're like, I almost got this. Oh, right? So the Nav being like, one of 3 officers that actually played Halo with us, that dude got playing time all the time. Dude, when we was cleaning, that dude was playing Halo. We was on watch. That dude was playing Halo. He was playing Halo. I'm surprised he got any work done with as much Halo as he played, And he got good. Oh, unimpeded playment. And then the Chiefs also, they were good too because there wasn't that many Chiefs that played Halo. So they all played. They had 4 controllers in there. They all played at the same time. If they wasn't playing us, they was playing each other. And they had teams. They would, you know it was Chiefs. You see 3 people around the way and stuff, and they go around the corner. You're like, man, I bet you that's them Chiefs. You go up there trying to chase after them, trying to shoot them. You come around the corner and you get 3 guns in your face. Damn you, Chief! Now that's what I remember about Navigator number 2. That was some good times. I mean, we had some rough times too. We did some stuff, but he was cool and he listened to us and he listened to our input. I remember one time the guys in the bridge were having problems hearing the one MC and all the other MCs while they was up there in the bridge due to the wind and everything, right? He was like, man, we need to come up with a solution for this and everything. And I was like, well, what if we hooked up a external speaker and we amplified it and we just made the signal louder? And he let us run with it and we put together some stuff and it was cool. Now, it didn't work like we would have liked it to work, but it worked. But man, it was a definite learning curve. And maybe that'll be a story for another day. If you want to hear that story, let me know. Moving on. Navigator number 3. When Navigator number 2 had to leave, officers are not there on the boat very long. It kind of makes me sad because I had to be there for a long time. We didn't have a replacement navigator. The weapons officer moved into the spot of the navigator. Well, the weapons officer wasn't a navigator. He had to be brought up to speed and trained, and he had to learn what to do to be navigator. Let's just say that was a trying time for all of us, him included. By that time, I was the primary plot. Primary plot was I just put the ship's position on a chart during the piloting party. So when we coming into port, we leaving out of port, we in some river, we in restricted waters, whatever, I was the primary plotter. My whole job was plotting ship's position on that chart, giving recommendations to the navigator. That's all I did. And when we did this, we were in 3-minute rounds. 3 minutes is fast. No, you don't understand. You say, yeah, Mr. Durite, we know 3 minutes fast. You think we stupid? No, I don't think you're stupid. God dog, calm down. I'm saying 3 minutes is fast. Go in there and go take a shit and then wipe your ass and see if you can do it in 3 minutes. But then you got somebody saying, oh no, you need to do that faster. Get in there, do it again, and get it under 3 minutes. Then you'll see how fast 3 minutes is. No lie. You have a lot of stuff coming at you. I used to plot visual fix. I used to plot the radar fix. I used to plot the military GPS fix. I used to plot the doggone commercial GPS fix. All of those at the same time, 3 minutes, and had to give recommendations and get ready for the next round. So 3 minutes is not a long time. And it really took some doing for me to get it under 3 minutes. And I actually ended up getting it under 2. Boy, but it was painful. And this is why it was painful. So we had to go to the simulator a lot to get the navigator qualified to be navigator and get him up to speed and everything. But I was also new to the primary plot. So I didn't know everything. And the old navigator, I leaned on him heavily, and he limped me along and helped me get to the point that I was. But I wasn't the greatest at no means. I wanted to fix stuff. I didn't want to be sitting up here messing with no charts. So we was in this simulator, and the nav was riding my ass. Woo, this dude was riding me like a whipped mule. Goodness. You got that fixed for me? You got that recommendation? What do we need to do? What's the set and drift? I was like, oh my God, you got to give me a break. Oh, you need to get this. You need to get faster. I'm like, do we have to do this right now? I was losing my freaking mind. Dude, I was losing my freaking mind. To go from the pier to the mouth of the river in Groton, I don't know, that took maybe an hour. So each one of those simulators was about an hour. And I tell you what, that was the most stressful hour I've ever had in my entire life. Oh, it's only 20 rounds in an hour. But those were all this gray you see, I got a bald spot right here. All of that's from that. That's from that. As soon as I got out of there, I stopped growing gray. But the gray said, no, we here, bro. You might as well go ahead and get used to this. We ain't going to a little bald spot's like, ha. Yeah, you're going to look like Kojak here soon. Y'all might not even know who Kojak is. Dude, he had me stressed out. And so, after it was all over with, dude, I was so stressed. I was shaking. I went outside in the hallway. I'm laughing. That shit wasn't funny at the time. Man, I punched a brick wall. Blow! Well, you can hear that in there. I punched that brick wall, and immediately after I punched that wall, I knew I made a mistake. Boy, my hand said, I'm like, oh my gosh, and then boom, 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 boom. I'm like, fuck, man, I need to go to medical. What the hell did I do? So I go back in the room. Navigator looked at me. He said, so you done now? All right, we finna do it again. Get on this plot. And I'm like, really? All right. I can't even fix it. All right, let's do this. I just made a bad situation worse, but it was over with. It was over with. And he eventually got better, and I got way better. And the ANAV at the time is the one that saved me. He came up with a way to make things a whole lot easier, and I got faster. I was able to give the nav everything he wanted, and we became a real good team after that. Good team. Navigator number 4. This navigator was different because this navigator scared the shit out of me. Yeah, he was a big old dude. Big dude. And he wasn't scary because he was black. I want to say that right now. He wasn't scary because he was black. He was scary because he was huge, tall, and he was a mean son of a gun for an officer. You don't see tough, mean officers. You got a captain like, he might bark some shit sometimes and make everybody field day for 5 hours. That's officer tough. Oh, you gonna do this? I'm gonna send you the mask. You keep doing this. That's officer tough. Officer tough is not,
if you don't get that shit done, I'm gonna bash your head in.
That's not officer tough. That's like enlisted chief tough. That's like master chief tough.
If you don't get those charts done in 1 hour, I'll smash your head in.
Really? I mean, he had us scared. Man, he'll sit up there and rack us all out.
I need these charts done immediately.
He'll sit up there in cruise mess and he will watch us. He'll be just like this.
What you doing? Pick that pencil back up. Where you think you going? To the bathroom? You better hold it. Oh, you done? Let me see that chart. Get this out of here. That's all jacked up.
Man, he did not play. He made our chief look like strawberry shortcake. Boy, our chief was like, I better get out of here before he gets me doing charts. For real. It was sometimes, that was my 4 navigators. And hey, could I have gotten better ones? Sure. Could I have gotten worse ones? Sure. I think I got just what I needed. And those were the navigators that molded me and guided me through the Navy. So I'm not mad. Would I do it again? What? Hell no. Knowing what I know now? Oh no, I wouldn't. No. No. Nah. That's enough for me. Thank you for checking out my show, Sea Stories of Mr. Durite, with your host, Mr. Durite. And I'm out of here. Peace. Navigator Tales. Woo! My first navigator. I ain't gonna say no names. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say no names because I'm not gonna say no names. I said names before and they didn't go so well with me. They didn't go so good for me, so I'm going to not say names. So, let me look at this chart. Look at this. What is this? This is all wrong. Get this out of my face. Oh man, shit, my dolphins. I had a feeling my dolphins was fucking falling down.